Welcome back to the first round of the ANZ Open Division here with my man Disco. Disco, we got a pretty good match coming up next, mate.
We indeed do. We're going to be coming up against Unreal Aussies versus EA themselves. I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited for this matchup. I like the Unreal Aussies guys. They're a pretty cool group. Make some pretty cool teams. But EA, I actually can't quite remember the full roster. Actually, who's on their team? Sorry, beg my pardon, Winters.
Well, Disco, I've got you covered. And speaking of gotcha, we got gotcha on EA. We have Hill, Spazzo, JD Star, and Fit Chivalry. I see we've got an Assassins fan there. And Burnt Water.
Yeah, like we're talking about like two teams that are made up of very for a long time in the ANZ region, right? We talked about veteran players, and we got to a stage where everyone had been playing the game for so long, right? It's like, well, gee, everyone's from beta here. They've been competing since beta, and it's really good in the last 6 months with the work of Unreal Aussies, the work of the Onyx Guild as well. We've been seeing a lot of new names rise up in the competitive scene. Not saying that everyone here is new, but they are new names. They're not names that I could say, hey, I remember those guys 3 years ago. I remember Jeff on Team Z. It's just great.
So if I can remember what I ate for dinner 2 nights ago.
So I'm just really looking forward to, because I don't know what to expect from EA. Unreal Aussies, I know a lot of those guys. They're pretty cool chaps. I got a good idea of where we're going to see them in the game. But yeah, I'm just really excited for this match coming up. I unfortunately closed off the roster as well. But can you tell me, Winters, what map that these guys will be competing on?
Ooh, that is a very good question. We are going to see another very short map, Disco. It's the Braxis Holdout.
Braxis Holdout. All right, this will be interesting to see what the teams bring onto the table this time. Braxis Holdout is another 2-lane map. So we are looking at, again, the solo lane is so important. That opens up very similar characters in the term of, say, Blaze, in the term of Dahaka. Malfuel can make an appearance. Anyone, if the draft so goes in that direction, you could have crazy solo laners like Artanis. That I would be very surprised if we somehow got to that weird location. But there's just
the random Artanis appears. Yeah,
that's amazing. This is an amazing draft to get there. I'm just showing my my terrible Hero League games creeping into to my thoughts. But that it's the solo laner that's so important on this map. Sometimes the bottom lane can stagnate really badly, and if teams don't really control the point correctly, or it becomes a backwards and forwards poke game, oh, you can have a couple of seconds on the point, or now we'll have a couple of seconds, and then exchange some blows and see what happens. It really comes down to the solo laner to sit in the top lane and make sure that they're controlling the point for their team. So that's where we're going to be. That's the direction I think we're going to be seeing this game going. Is like, again, it's all about the solo laner. It's all about who they take.
Disco, if you get that solo lane pick wrong, or you get really hard counted later on in the draft, you're going to find yourself in a world of pain. And if you lose that top lane, you're effectively losing the game for your team. You're going to have to force rotations, or, lo and behold, your bottom lane's losing and you are holding that top lane. All it takes is one simple rotation from the bottom player, i.e. a Muradin just hopping over that wall to completely take you by surprise. So that's one of the things about Braxis Holdout that I'm a big fan of, is there's a lot of tactics that need to go into it. You can't just push towers. You can't just go, oh, I'm going to play a cheeky Sylve and just go smash towers. No, you will get caught because the rotations are very, very quick. It is a fast, brutal game.
Yeah, it's we can see like supports like Lucio sort of start shining as well, increasing a rotation from the team up to the point to support their solo laner if they're in a winning position. It's a bit of a I would say snowbally map. But one thing I do like about Braxis Holdout is that there's this weird opportunity to come back later in the game, because the map kind of forces the teams to split up a little bit with the dual points going on. And it's at those moments that a team that is falling behind could potentially get back into the game with those, cheeky little picks that sort of present themselves. So
If they're
that's
smart enough to catch someone on one of those rotations between points, or if they get their 5-man and go to 1 point and they've found that 1 point where the enemy team has 1 player,
yep.
that's a little bit of a good pick, and then they can snowball it back from there. Absolutely.
But you don't want to be in that position to begin with. You'd rather not be like, oh gee, I hope there's only 1 person at this point today.
Yeah, no, I don't have time for that, mate. You definitely want to have some kind of scouting or some kind of inherent knowledge about your opponent or about where they may have given themselves away in positioning to be able to take advantage of that.
But we are very, very nearly ready. Nearly ready, guys. We are going. It's Unreal Aussies versus EA. I mean, I've called them EA for so long, but let's get their real name so we're not being so terrible.
Sorry, Disco. I think we've got a last-minute change come through.
Oh yeah.
Specified versus EA.
Oh, okay.
So we have RU team versus Eternal Adaption.
Yep. All right. I apologize. No, I apologize myself. It's they're all lovely. You know, they're all sitting there in the chat, all actually tagged up at as RU Unreal Aussies. Sorry, it's RU, and I just for some reason think, oh, Unreal Aussies.
It's all right, Disco. I will take the heat on this one. I am the. I got you.
No one takes the heat. It's a great region in here. Everyone can be good. And all right, it looks like we are ready, Winters. Let's get into it. We're getting into Brax's holdout, and we're just getting ready for a pretty decent game here. Might be the short game that we think it is, even though it is a Brax's holdout.
I'm hoping for at least a level 16 talent pick. That's where we start seeing a little bit more damage, a little bit more technicality coming out from some of our heroes, Disco. I, for one, am not a fan of the level 9, level 10 games. So let's hope both of our teams can hold it out. And I've got high hopes for RU.
Well, it comes down to exactly what they want to ban and pick in this regard. It is Brax's holdout. We could see the standard bans, from the Maiev, Blaze, or Hanzo, or
we see the Blaze ban straight out of the gate, Disco. They know the punishment can... And very smart ban.
Well, that's it. When the Zerg rush is impending, Blaze can be an amazing ally. And of course, he's just so good in the solo lane. Following up there, again, it's really just what the enemy team doesn't want to risk the other side picking up here. Again, Maiev, again, Genji, again, Hanzo. Hanzo, he's just a solid character. He's got so many different build variations that just help him be so effective on a variety of situations and maps. And even this one here, but it looks like the Maiev is being shadowed. Thinking about it, I think it'd be good. She does offer a little bit of a great play on the objective. Obviously, if the enemy team is trying to secure it, or if they have secured it, Maiev can jump on there, pull everyone in. But that's the ban there.
Not in this game, my friend. And to be honest, I don't think we're going to see a sneaky Maiev coming through at all, Disco. I think she's just too strong at the moment, even with the nerfs that we've seen to her HP, to her passive armor, to her melee attacks. She's getting worked into the ground, yet her ability to reposition the enemy team is just too strong. And we're going to Genji first pick.
So the good thing about Genji is obviously he can jump into that back line. And where I'm talking about in this game, where you're going to be poking and prodding the enemy team. Once they do sort of go down, down in health, that's where the Genji can really shine. Jump onto the back line and go mata, and get as many juicy kills as he can try. The enemy team trying to respond to this. Hanzo's still on the board, and I feel it's kind of funny that Hanzo is a good sort of option. I feel he's also a good option to Genji. Actually, just a good option to everyone, right?
It's just that natural rivalry between the Shimada brothers, Disco. You know that. But whilst Genji is diving that back line, he is going to look absolutely fabulous doing that in his year of the dog skin.
Yeah, that is. We did should highlight that he is being very stylish today. But that's just the open div, right? The open div, You're stylish, Winners, I'm stylish. Genji is going to be stylish in this match.
Everyone's looking good tonight. Just saying. Just quietly. Oh, all right. Cool Dan. Beautiful wave clear. Dahaka. We got our solo laner who can instantly rotate. Strong picks.
Oh, they are very good. I was wondering if they were going to look at more meta picks. Gul'dan, obviously, and Dahaka are both great on this map. as first picks, trying to secure those wave clears, obviously with Gul'dan, like you said. But Chromie,
Wow.
I like the
Over
pressure.
Halloween skin Chromie. And yep, now we've got an Anubarak. So we have a dive heavy comp team. This is going to be interesting.
Well, this is the great thing here, right? We're talking about Genji. Genji's going to dive in, he's going to get some kills. But the question comes down to how can he do that? Like, he can't kill someone from 100% to 0. That's Chromie's option, Chromie's going to sit there. She's going to throw her sand at the enemy's eyes. The dragon's going to fire its whatever it vomits from the air down to the ground and hits objects. If they don't die, you can guess what year of the dog is going to come through and just really take it out there with Genji.
I believe the term is Yuji no Kaioken in Bogan Aussie. But
I don't ever live long enough.
Without a Nubarak disco, we're going to get a burrow charge into a Chromie W, into a Chromie Q, into a Swift Strike, and a whole face full of shurikens. I think that's enough to annihilate anybody.
Man, I'd be surprised if someone does manage to survive after that.
That is a barrage of damage. And we see RU banning out the Malthael. Very, very smart move, given his ability to self-sustain after dropping his Death Shroud and then queuing his way to full health again.
Well, we've just seen, Malfurion is just a great hero at the moment, really strong in the solo lane. So many people would claim that there is no good option against him in the solo lane. So that's what they're going to pick there. Banning that out, it removes any pressure from Dahaka from that big massive play. Last Rites is being taken quite often now. Last Rites is quite a very viable talent.
Absolutely, seeing a transition to that Last Rites away from.
And against Dahaka, that's still a huge tool that can really damage him. If you're talking about like a 1v1 sort of dueling situation, but Malfurion's banned on the other side. Whew. It's just so like the drafts are just going for so long. I'm just not sure what the teams are overly thinking, like what direction they want to go in. Obviously, on the side of on the blue team right now, they're looking at okay, so we need another tank. We still need a support. So what supports from the board? Obviously, we have Uther. We have Lucio. Lucio could be taken at Sound Barrier. Maybe that's a good play against the Chromie or the Genji. However, a Nubarak diving or burrow charging onto Lucio, that's going to be a problem because he's then going to be a target that's blown up by all that damage you mentioned, Winters.
Yeah, it's going to be insta-death for Lucio. But the Lucio is a very smart pick in this instance, Disco, due to the Gul'dan with his lack of mobility. Dahaka, there's plenty of bushes for him to stalk around, but Gul'dan gets no bonus move speed. So we see a very safe pick in the ETC and the Uther. So we're going to look for that extra armor, and we're going to look for ETC's peel.
Yeah, that's going to work really well when Genji does dive into the back. Obviously, Nubarak can burrow charge in. There's an interesting play here. Does Uther go, obviously, Divine Shield? Does he throw it on the Gul'dan to stop them from dying? Does he throw it on the ETC for the ETC to have a clean, slide clean stun? Or even more importantly, a clean mosh pit? There's just so much options there. Dahaka, meanwhile, can be punishing or can be harassing the back line as well when he sort of does rotate down, when he bush stalkers into the fight. So there's really great plays here. Uther, I like the pick. It's it's one of the safer picks. The armor from the heal as well, Winters, is going to be huge at negating any of that Chromie.
His ability to stun the Genji after a switch in pretty much spells doom for Genji. As long as they pair that with an ETC stun or a Dahaka tongue or even a fear, I think that's a very good answer to the Genji and the dive.
Isn't that scary, Winters? Isn't that scary? Do you want to be stunned while Dahaka licks you from head to toe?
CC lock with a little bit of a as well. No, thank you. I think I'll take a hard pass on that, Disco.
Well, that's the plan coming out of the blue side right now. Their last pick. I like the Stukov and the Leoric pick. Leoric is looking at punishing the Dahaka and ETC, the big health, high hit points. And the Stukov it's the silence, right?
In there for the Leo and great heals from that lurking arm. If we see Stukov talenting into that lurking arm, he can cause all sorts of preventing the dive, preventing that mosh, stopping the mosh, preventing Gul'dan from spamming with a Tychus last pick. So once again, we see some high health targets, and the natural answer for that is Tychus. So it's an interesting pickup. Rolls Unspecified going with a bit of an out there draft.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the one side. Like I really like what the red team EA's really brought to this. Right, we're looking at Stukov being able to throw down his lurking arm onto the point. It's either using as a zoning to kind of like, sort of like keep the rolls guys away, or
that's exactly what it does, especially on a point on Braxis. It's you talent into it to expand the size of lurking arm, and it's taking up the whole point. You can't stand on it, you can't cap it, and he can do that from anywhere. And if he's smart enough, he can do it from the other side of the wall, and they won't know. So interesting tactics to be deployed here.
But we're going to find out exactly how both teams are going to run this. Welcome to Braxis Holdout. We're loading in now. On the blue side, it is Rolls Unspecified. I should be saying that correctly. And it's Lorne on Uther. Then we got Bob got on ETC. We got Lerazen. Oh man, some of these names. Lerazen on Tychus. Then we got Sozu on Dahaka. And then we got I think I have to give you Winters. Help me out, mate. Who's playing?
Your mate Rykors there, Disco. Your mate Rykors. And my man Lorne on the Uther. And on our red team for EA, we have Burnt Water EA on Stukov. I think he's got his tag back to front. Gotcha on the Chromie. Spazzo on the Anubarak. JD Star 25 on Leo. And Hill on Genji.
All right. Thank you very much, winners. And here we are. 4 men in the bottom lane. 2 men in the top. And this is
party, Disco.
Yeah, well, this is basically the game now. Probably the next 3 minutes, looking to try and push out each other's lane as much as possible. Try and get the advantage here. Gul'dan, on the side of Gul'dan, I think they've got a little bit of advantage. Nice stun onto Genji, just sort of pressuring him. But look at that, nice healing coming out from Stukov. No follow-up damage. But Gul'dan, Winters, when you get hit by Gul'dan, man, does it hurt?
Boy, does it. That corruption is absolutely devastating, especially when you cop all 3 strikes. From personal experience, it's killed me many a time. And Disco was seeing very standard picks as Gul'dan gets picked.
Yeah, Gul'dan does get picked as well, along with the line of talents. Not an interesting thing, but we do sometimes see Gul'dan's taking Fell Flame at level 1 to try go the Fell Flame build to try and help with the wave clear on this map. However, we see on Gul'dan taking Echoed Corruption instead, looking for more the DPS game. And that's important because Gul'dan is the main source of DPS for his team as well. Plus, poking onto the ejected points, just prioritizing that because he's the only one that can kind of do it effectively without being in danger. First ejective raises up. Nice power slide. There comes out by ETC. Gets a little stun there. In a bad... That's the silence, man. They've got to run away.
That lurking arm just devastates that entire team when they're trying to do it, especially since Stukov talent.
Yeah, he's obviously getting a bigger expand there, so it covers more of the ejective points. The unfortunate thing is that it doesn't introduce a bit of a longer cooldown. But on the ejective there, we see Nurak dive in, going on to Tychus. Tychus to back out. Genji trying to get some work done. Nice big heal comes from Stukov, keeping him in the 5. Bot is not feeling very healthy. Does have to back out here. And the red team secure both points at the moment, as it slowly and steadily raises to 100%.
Yes, they're at 50% at the moment, as we see Bob Goat having to go back a little bit. Power sliding into the Anub. Can they secure a kill here? This will help.
It's nice pressure here, but behind this, look at that. We've sort of had pressure. Tychus getting killed by Genji. And that's what we talked about. Genji was just going to jump onto the back line, and anyone that's low on health. No, just Chromie almost connecting on the Gul'dan just then.
Just kissing the cooldown by the skin of his teeth. Absolutely. And we see a full Zerg wave now attacking this bottom lane against Rolls Unspecified. Genji diving in behind the line, gets the Rykors. Wow.
He is brave, but he knows what he can achieve. Plus, there's also so much of the turrets are focusing the Zerg wave at the moment. So he knew there was only the fortification itself that would attack him.
This Genji is doing a lot of work, Disco. A lot of damage coming out from Hill is just, again, putting on a clinic, for lack of a better term. I'm impressed.
We're just looking for those beautiful picks, Winters, you know? We talked about, you know, Chromie's going to drop the damage down on the back line, and if someone doesn't die, that's an opportunity for Hill to just follow up and get the kill, push out that wave. So they've taken the first fortification now. A big win for Team EA. This just secures there.
We see them take a full level lead on that too. Early level on Braxis, early forts down means an easier win condition come 10 minutes. Which I hope we don't see.
Yeah, you know, hopefully it doesn't change. It doesn't go down to that. We do see Leoric rotate down to the bottom lane now. He will be manning that himself. The other 4 members of his team will be in the top lane, trying to pressure that, push it out. Both teams picking up mercenary camps, but there's a little bit to be said here. We need roles unspecified to look for a pick right now. They should be trying to identify a situation where they can go in and they can try and get a kill. Because these merc camps right now aren't really going to give them that much value against the enemy team.
Yeah, you're right, Disco. The heavy camp here that's spawn in, our little marines and jetpacks and robots, they're not going to help much. Right? They need that pick, which they almost initiated onto the noob who pyro charged out quite easily. There's just so much poke on the side of EA. Look at that silence again. It's just devastating. The zone control is amazing on it.
It is. It's just stopping so much of the damage coming out of roles unspecified. You know, it just stops them from, you know, Gul'dan from being able to cast spells, stops Tychus from, you know, being able to use any of his own ability to throw out his own grenade. He has to walk forward to do all his damage. But if he's out of position, that's when characters like Genji and Chromie are going to pick him up.
And you see him using that lurking arm once again to placing it just underneath that minion wave. They can get the clear out on the minions without any fear of engagement. You know, ETC cannot slide into a lurking arm and expect to walk out on her.
Yeah, not, you know, and if they do want to do that at level 10, they run the risk of burning a heroic, burning a storm, the thing to do it at level 10. So, ooh.
Which is sneaking up very quickly, Disco, for our guys EA. They're almost at level 9. The second phase has come through.
Ooh, Genji actually did receive a lot of damage just then from Gul'dan, but it wasn't enough. There was no follow-up to take advantage of it. He did parry through a lot of it as well. Again, Leoric, I mean, we need to shout out Leoric in the bottom lane. He is just doing so much work right now. He literally owns that lane against Dahaka.
Leo's just holding his own. Dahaka has to sit back and try and farm under his own towers.
All right, this is an opportunity. This is what I talked about. This is an opportunity right now for the blue team to get a pick. Leoric trying to be cheeky there and challenge Dahaka. Rotation comes down now from unrolled, unspecified. They will get the kill. This is nice for them. They've got 22 seconds to make this work. They've picked up the bottom objective. They now need to rotate up to the top lane and see if they can deal with something pushing into their structures. Choosing, however, to try and gain experience and do the trade game, Winters.
Oh, Disco, I don't think they've got the ability to trade siege like this. You know, by rotating down, yes, they get the kill on Leo. However, they're going to fort, especially with the Nubarak able to sit there and spawn bugs. They can just tank it and get rid of it. So they're holding the top beacon. You know, RU has got the bottom beacon. Leo's back up, so he's getting his value back down there in terms of XP. See Bob dive on him.
That's another kill. That helps, but actually they're going to get a nice trade here, actually. You know, that before, when I thought to myself, you know what, it's just going to be one kill on Leoric, and, you know, they might get the key, the fortifications. But that fact that they've got a second kill, all right, that's actually pretty good.
Uh-oh, here comes EA. They're not happy with a web wrap on the Uther.
Yeah, we've web wrap on the Uther. Only ETC is there to try and free him out. He's cut out. Yeah, Anurag dives in. Nice mosh pit, however, going down. It's vulnerable on the Gul'dan, keeps him in the fight, however. Chromie tries to follow up, can't get the kill. Where's Genji? Just taking out Lorne. Meanwhile, Dahaka is harassing both Leoric and a Nubarak, that's pushing them back, and it looks like it's going to be a neutral positioning actually for both teams.
0-for-0 trade there, Disco. That was a lot of damage, but some really great supporting.
Oh, some smart plays there. You know, Dahaka just pressuring Nurek and Leoric, you know, preventing them from going in and slowing down the enemy team. Chromie missed some really key damage behind that really didn't allow Genji to finalize those kills they were so desperately looking for, and it's just broke apart.
I think the roles unspecified team have sort of adjusted now after this first sort of 7 or 8 minutes to the way that this Chromie is playing, or sorry, to the way Gotcha is playing Chromie. So perhaps they're anticipating where those W's and Q's are going to land, but maybe that's giving them a little bit too much credit.
That was a nice attempted gank there on Gul'dan, and like we talked about that during the draft phase as well. You know, those are the opportunities that you're looking for, right? If you're on back foot, or even if you're just, you know, trying to win the game, get that full advantage while you're rotating. If you feel those kills or you sense someone's by themselves, it's an opportunity to gank them and gain a cheeky little bit of an advantage. But right now, each team just playing the rotation game. You know, Winters, it's time to murk.
Disco, I think you're right, but it doesn't look like they're going to start any of those merc camps. They are trying to catch back up on beacon percentages for them. What I think roles unspecified have done really well though, Disco, is
oh no, Uther! It's so overextended right now. Nubrak's in a great position, fails to get the barrel charge onto him. The blade has been popped by Genji, going onto the Tigers. Can he get the kill? No, he's in a bad position. Overextended himself. Overextension for overextension. At least you can say both teams are playing fairly right now, but Dahaka pressured on the objective, has to back out. 100% finally comes out for Team EA.
He goes down. Wow.
I think that's an alright trade, you know, the Genji does fall, but they did get the Zerg wave, and the Zerg wave is...
Zerg wave 2, Disco.
That's right, nothing really in the blue tank whatsoever, and we're about to see a tide of Zerg smash against the front gates of the blue base.
Well, you can say that this keep wall is going to go down, Disco. I don't be able to defend it, not with that giant lurking arm in the middle of it. ETC's zoned out, he can't get back through. He's going to have to go the long way.
That's it, but when he does get there, he can prevent the Stukov lurking arm, which will allow his team to run out, but they've still got to deal with the Zerg wave right now. ETC adding pressure, keeping the enemy team back, buying time for his guys to deal with that front line. But look at this, they're going on to ETC now. He can paraslide out, but he's still alive, does do the mic pushback.
So slow through the Chromie,
but he's...
slowing stands.
Oh.
Wow. He's gone.
Dangerous, living dangerously. You know, I was thinking of this balance there, like, oh, you know what, he is pressuring them a little bit, but I don't know, I just totally forgot about Gotcha and the slowing sands.
Can't forget out about that Chromie.
Oh, Genji on the back line, kills him. Gets another kill. He's gonna get that second one. Chromie steals the glory. Doesn't matter, that's a keep down now. We're at 11 minutes, 25 seconds. The team has a minute to clear out this game to be exactly the same time as before.
Don't think they've got the ability to end here, Disco, so we may see them pull back and go and try and take some of those enemy merc camps. However, it looks like we're going to see some recalls. Yeah, Leoric's positioning for that merc camp, so's Anub and Stukov, so we'll let the RU boys finish up trying to defend the remnants of that poor keep.
Zerg threat eliminated.
And they are now down a talent tier, so 2 full levels down.
Not only are they...
You go, mate.
No, go, Winters, go.
I was going to say, the roles unspecified boys do have an opportunity to come back in. They are secure that top keep. They can gain some quick, easy XP, but you're going to have to get through that wall of EA defense first.
Yeah, and you know, they've still got Dahaka on their side, so they can quite easily keep cleaning out the top lane, and then Dahaka can go global into the team fights. So they really aren't even a man down from it. They're still in a bad situation, you know, they're still not looking pretty, but they still have an option for that. But again, look at that, spending time grabbing the Merc camp. I don't know if that's going to pay off. They're just making it so slowly easier for the enemy team now to push in. Tiger's coming in, starting to clear out the fire bats himself.
Disco taking that bruiser camp took valuable time away from being able to keep wall, which is now gone. Even the side walls are gone. It's not looking good for my boys in RU, mate.
Oh, I think they're just going to have a camp here. Sorry, they're just going to get this keep here. So that Genji's on the back line, pressuring ETC. Has switched. A lot of devil here. Had the parry. Gets the stun out. Uther gets the kill. Mosh Pit comes out, but he's in the slowing sand. Leoric and Chromie powering into him. The Haka does come in and he sweeps up and getting his own kill. Gets scooped off.
That Divine Shield Mosh was on point.
That was very solid. It was in the slowing stands as well. So just it was good that ETC still managed to get into the position he required to drop it, and then the support.
Well, there's signs of life from Rolls Unspecified here, Disco. Is this the comeback? Is this what we've been waiting for? Some signs of vitality, blips on that ECG. Come on, boys. Can you get yourself a Zerg wave?
Yes, I mean they've. This is an opportunity. You're 100%. This is their chance to get back in right now. Grabbing the mercenaries right now as the ejector spawns is going to put a little bit of pressure onto EA. They need to deal with that before going to the objectives. But both objectives have been picked up now for roles unspecified. If they rotate to the top lane now and just control that point where the majority of the team EA is, actually not the majority, all of them Winters, they should be able to take this. Backing out, however, looking to.
EA have caught the split from the Dahaka, unfortunately, and they know it. Jump on point and stop that progress. 50%, halfway down, not bad. Can they catch this Genji out of position, Disco?
Oh, looks like they can. They did get the stun, but
so
Genji,
close.
ETC, just a little bit late to do any power sliding. That would have been a nice kill there, Winters. That would have been
that pick would have been the absolute game changer, Disco. No doubt about it.
All right, so just looking at the situation right now, we're getting the stalemate going on. Leoric's gone to the bottom, so the 4v4 fight right now equalized. Talent advantage and level advantage obviously go on the side of EA. So the boys from Rolls Unspecified don't want to have a... oh no, sorry, Dahaka in the bottom lane is actually in a lot of trouble here. On low health, had to pop his trade. Leoric looks like he's going to fall. Does fall. He can still have an impact right now, but it's only slowing him down. Genji could die from this. They don't want Genji. Anubrak dumps into the back line now. No follow-up. Chromie's not in position to do any damage. Finally sends the sand out. Doesn't connect really to anything. Genji!
Yeah, Genji!
Oh.
Wow.
This is it, Winters. This is Rolls Unspecified. We're looking for this moment here. They can get a kill here, but everyone's dying. ETC comes down.
They're losing too many members. It's a 3-for-3 trade, Disco.
It's big. Oh my god, that's big, Winters. And
really, it was a 4-for-3 because Leo's died and come back. That trade value hashtag. EA gets the 100 Zerg wave, and they're going to be going down that bot lane to take that keep.
However, behind all this Winters, look what's happening back in the base. Behind the excitement of that exchange going on, there's three catapults.
4 catapults. We both need to get our eyes checked there, Disco. I think one of them was sitting on top of the other one.
There was way...
Core's down to 26%, team.
Yeah, just behind this, you know, we can see them EA either overrun this keep here, then onto the core. And it's exactly what they're going to do here. Pressure is a maximum right now. Leoric positioning himself, looking to sort of trying to harass Gul'dan and Tychus. Tychus putting a lot of damage onto him, however. Spazzo there on a new rack, looking for a chance to dive in. He's looking for a target. He's waiting for it. Goes in. Gul'dan and Tychus grabbed in the back line. ETC falls behind. There is no tank. Uther keeps himself alive, but it's not going to be enough. This must be game because Genji, Mata has just appeared. But he's in a bottom bother. Gets grabbed by the tongue. What is going on here, Winters? Can Anubarak do it?
Can Anub finish this off with Chromie? I think so, and the Stukov. There we go. Wow, what a climactic finish there, Disco. That was exciting.
That was like, there was a moment there where I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty clean cut, you know? It's EA is just gonna sort of like roll in here behind the support of the Zerg and just, you know, push over the core. You know, there's just too much core damage, too much core pressure coming out. But something, I don't know, something in one of the cylinders just didn't fire. And Rolls Unspecified had a moment. You know, in an hour of darkness, they had a small soul of hope.
They
appear
had a
to
Dark Knight slowly starting to
Yeah.
rise, and then he lay back down.
Yeah.
I think
Oh.
the pivotal point there was catching that Genji out of position just near that top shrine disco.
Yeah.
If they had have got that, ifs, buts, and maybes and hopes and dreams, but if they
Mm.
did get that kill on that Genji, that would have been the turn, I think.
Yeah, no, it's so hard, even when you have all the CC, right? It's always still so hard to get the kill on the Genji because comparing can, he can dash out of it. But yeah, 100%. If they'd got that kill on the Genji, this would be a different game because they would have been able to do so much more in that situation, get more kills, and sort of pull themselves back into it. But unfortunately, they didn't quite. They were never in a position where they really had the level lead or the talent lead. Towards the end, there they were very close to being on point, or like on level. But
Disco, that's something I'd love to point out right now. There was a big difference in the talents between both teams. I'm not sure if we really paid enough attention to it. Team Roles Unspecified picked 4 quest talents at level 1 and 1 non-quest talent, whereas our team EA picked 1 quest talent with 4 non-quest talents at level 1. So that can show you some of the impact that you can have on your early game damage, which is where EA did their damage. Their Genji was at about 10k hero damage at 2 minutes in versus Roles Unspecified's Taika sitting at around 5k hero damage. So there's something to be said for the smartness and the tactics that you display in your level 1 talents.
It does give me a more earlier game presence because they're not waiting for something to happen. Like when in 5 minutes I will be this strong. It's like, nope, I picked the talent, I'm good to go. But yeah,
and we see the result for Team Roles Unspecified losing to EA in a fairly convincing victory, Disco.
That's it. Oh, guys, we are going to break. That was round 2 of the ANZ Open Division. Again, don't go anywhere. We've got 2 more games coming up. I will be saying farewell for the moment. Winters will be hanging around a little bit long, but I'll be saying farewell. Guys, when you come back, please give a big hand of applause for GL Phoenix.
The Phoenix. See you soon, team.